Oh honey, grab your teacup because what you're about to hear will blow the lid off Buckingham Palace. This story starts with a whisper so sharp it sliced through royal corridors like a blade dipped in scandal. It was supposed to be a quiet evening in London, crystal glasses clinking, diamonds glittering under chandeliers, and those fake royal smiles hiding 1,000 secrets. But in one shocking moment, Sarah Ferguson, yes, Fergie, the Duchess of York herself, leaned forward at a posh Mayfair dinner, looked around the table, and dropped a bombshell that froze the entire room. Her exact words, Meghan was Andrew's first client. The air went cold. Someone dropped a fork. You could almost hear the silent scream. Within hours, that 7-word whisper had escaped those silk-covered walls and raced through the palace like wildfire. Phones rang all night, aides panicked, and somewhere across the ocean in Montecito, Prince Harry, our poor ginger prince, was reportedly furious, confused, and heartbroken. Because, let's be honest, when Fergie speaks, the palace listens. And when she links Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, to Prince Andrew of all people, oh, darling, that's not gossip, that's dynamite. Now, before we go any further, let's remember who Fergie is. She's not some fragile duchess playing tea parties. This woman has survived it all: the 90 Seconds tabloid humiliation, the money scandals, the royal exile, and somehow she always finds her way back with that same mischievous grin. Fergie knows every royal secret because she's lived through them. So, when she drops a line connecting Meghan to Andrew, it's not a mistake, it's a move. A calculated strike meant to shake the walls of Windsor. But to understand how this firestorm began, you've got to rewind back to Meghan's so-called yacht days. Yes, you heard that right. The whispers about Meghan's mysterious past long before the phalanxes, tiaras, before suits, before Prince Harry, back when she was just Rachel Meghan Markle. A struggling actress with big dreams, bigger ambition, and even bigger connections. Hollywood wasn't kind to her tiny roles. Low paychecks, rent piling up, but the girl was determined. And somewhere between the auditions and failed pilots, she found herself drifting into a different world, the yacht world. We're talking about the Mediterranean playground of billionaires. Private decks, secret parties, and champagne that never stops flowing. That's where the truly rich and powerful mix away from the cameras. Deals are made, introductions arranged, and every smile hides a purpose. According to insiders, Meghan was seen at these exclusive gatherings not as a star, but as someone who knew how to network. She could walk onto a billionaire's yacht and walk off with every head turned. She was charming, sharp, and ready for opportunity. And among those rich, shadowy circles, one. Her name always stood out: Prince Andrew. Now, imagine this. Andrew, the royal playboy, surrounded by luxury and controversy, and then a new face shows up, confident and dazzling. That's where the rumors start painting their picture. And Fergie's cryptic words, Andrew's first client, suddenly sound far more dangerous than anyone first thought. Because this wasn't just a random comment. It was Fergie reminding the world of Meghan's rumored yacht days and tying them directly to the Duke of York, the same Andrew whose name sits forever next to Jeffrey Epstein. See where this is going? The implications were explosive. By linking Meghan to Andrew's world, Fergie reopened a door the royals desperately wanted locked. And if you know anything about Buckingham Palace, you know they fear one thing above all: public shame. But how did Meghan even meet this world of power, yachts, and privilege? That's where another name comes in: Marcus Anderson. Marcus wasn't royalty, but he had access. He worked with Soho House, that ultra-private club where celebrities, royals, and billionaires rub shoulders in total secrecy. If you wanted to meet someone who mattered, Marcus was your guy. According to several insiders, Marcus introduced Meghan to Sarah Ferguson. One casual introduction, and a whole new chapter began. After that, Meghan started appearing on guest lists that were once untouchable. Soho House, royal events, yacht circles, she was suddenly everywhere important. And somewhere down that glittering road, she met Prince Harry. Now fast forward years later, Fergie sitting at that dinner, casually tossing out the line, Meghan was Andrew's first client. Everyone froze, but Fergie, she smiled. Because she knew exactly what she was doing. It wasn't just gossip, it was power. That single sentence tied Meghan's glittering royal image to one of the darkest royal scandals, Andrew and Epstein. And if that wasn't shocking enough, there's another layer. Whispers say that Fergie's timing wasn't accidental. Some believe it was revenge payback for being left in the shadows while Meghan basked in royal fame. Others think it was strategy Fergie reminding the royals that she still had influence, that she could break the palace's silence with a single sentence. But some insiders whisper an even darker reason that Fergie said it to protect Andrew. By dragging Meghan's name into the fire, she shifted the spotlight away from her ex-husband. A scandal for a scandal. Chaos for chaos. Whatever her reason, one thing was certain: Fergie knew the game better than anyone. Every word she dropped that night was like lighting a match in a room full of gasoline. Meanwhile, poor Harry. Can you imagine his reaction when he heard? The fury, the disbelief, the humiliation. His wife, the love of his life, being tied to his disgraced uncle in front of the entire world? Sources close to Montecito say Harry lost it. While Meghan went quiet, refusing interviews or appearances, Harry raged behind closed doors. Calls were made, damage control teams assembled, lawyers consulted. But what could they do? You can't sue a duchess who's technically still part of your family, and suing her would only prove that the rumor hit too close to home. So instead of dying down, the story grew. Because silence? It only makes gossip louder. The palace might have hoped the whispers would fade, but oh no, this wasn't just a passing rumor anymore. This was a royal earthquake, and every aftershock hit Montecito harder than the last. Behind those perfect smiles and Instagram posts, the tension was palpable. Meghan went silent, no interviews, no appearances, no charity events. Her team reportedly froze all public engagements. Every move risked making things worse. Every word she said could turn that whisper into a war. Harry, on the other hand, was a storm. People close to him said he was pacing, shouting, demanding answers. Imagine finding out your wife's name, your duchess, was being linked to your own uncle, a man the palace treats like a ghost. It wasn't just a scandal, it was personal betrayal splashed across every headline. And oh, the irony. Remember, this is the same Andrew who once lived like a royal rock star, yachts, private jets, and shady billionaire friends. The man who treated luxury like oxygen. And now, Fergie's whisper had connected his tainted world directly to Meghan's glittering one. Because let's be honest, Andrew's world wasn't just rich, it was rotten. The yachts, the secret parties, the infamous Epstein connection. It was a place where power played behind closed doors and innocence didn't stand a chance. And now, thanks to one sentence from his ex-wife, Meghan Markle's name was drifting in that same polluted air. Think about the optics. Meghan, the former deal or no deal girl turned duchess, now accused of being part of the same secret world Andrew once ruled. The yacht parties, the champagne, the late-night whispers, every photo, every rumor suddenly felt too close for comfort. And the whispers didn't stop there. According to people who claim to know, Meghan wasn't just an innocent guest on those yachts. She allegedly knew how to charm billionaires, how to make connections that lasted. She used to charge almost $30,000 per trip, one insider muttered, suggesting that her real earnings weren't coming from acting but from networking. Those yacht trips were where fortunes and fates intertwined, and while no one has ever proven the gossip true, the timing, oh darling, the timing made it impossible to ignore. Inside Buckingham Palace, you could almost hear the panic behind those golden doors. Two scandals colliding, Meghan and Andrew tied together by even a hint of gossip? That's a royal nightmare, one capable of shattering whatever fragile peace the family had left. Even the courtiers, those well-trained masters of silence, couldn't contain the whispers. Some said Fergie was being vindictive. Others called her brilliantly strategic. But everyone agreed on one thing: she knew exactly what she was doing. Because Sarah Ferguson is no fool. She's the woman who's fallen from grace more times than the palace has changed wallpaper, and each time, she's crawled right back, lipstick perfect, smile unwavering. She's lived through humiliation, scandal, exile, and still managed to be photographed on royal grounds again. That takes a special kind of cunning. So when she said those 7 words, Meghan was Andrew's first client, she wasn't stumbling into trouble. She was orchestrating it, like a woman lighting her own fireworks show and smiling as they explode. Weeks passed. The palace stayed tight-lipped. Officially, no one said a word, but behind closed doors, they were scrambling. Calling lawyers, spinning stories, burying evidence. They knew Fergie's words had reopened a wound they could never truly heal. Because it wasn't just about Meghan's alleged past. It was about perception, the one thing the royal family treasures above all else. And perception, once poisoned, never clears completely. Even now, when Andrew and Meghan appear in the same public frame, people can't help but notice he never looks directly at her. He glances, shifts, turns away. Is it guilt, discomfort, fear that the world can see what they're both thinking? No one knows, but the tension is there, invisible yet electric. Then there's Fergie herself, walking through London with that same confident smile, pretending like nothing ever happened. She poses for cameras, signs autographs, laughs at events as if she didn't just throw gasoline on the monarchy and walk away with the match still burning in her hand. But those who truly know her, those who've watched her fall and rise again, say that smile isn't innocence. It's calculation. It's victory. Because Fergie understands something that Meghan and even Harry might still be learning. In the royal world, the person who controls the story controls the throne. And that night in Mayfair, Fergie proved she still could. Now the palace might pretend it's moved on, that life has returned to normal, but insiders whisper that Harry hasn't forgiven not the tabloids, not his uncle, and definitely not Sarah Ferguson. Because one whisper, just one, tore through his entire life like a wrecking ball. It dragged his wife's name through mud, reopened Andrew's shame, and reminded the world that in that family, no secret ever stays buried for long. So while Buckingham Palace polishes its crowns and pretends all is well, somewhere in Montecito, there's still a man, a prince, staring at the sea, wondering how the woman he loves became part of the very nightmare he ran away from. And somewhere across the ocean, Sarah Ferguson is smiling because she knows the truth that every royal learns sooner or later. You don't need a crown to hold power. Sometimes the most dangerous person in the royal family is the one who's already lost everything.